What's going on, everybody? It's Q from Retro Q Gaming, and luckily for me this morning Christmas has come early, because first thing I noticed this morning when I woke up was, well, a nice little PSN surprise. That's something you probably don't hear from me a lot, considering the PSN is usually garbage, but it turns out that a website called GameStat, which automatically tracks any changes made and uploaded and pages created and whatnot on the PSN, has had a massive spoiler leaked, almost, if you will. This massive spoiler for everyone, which kind of makes me believe that Square Enix may have done this on purpose because of the timing, but it turns out that there has been a listing created on the PSN for a Final Fantasy VII Remake demo. That's right, a Final Fantasy VII Remake demo. Of course, remember, this is not an official announcement in any way, shape, or form. Square Enix have not announced a public demo in any way, shape, or form either. However, demos have existed for this game that have shown up at, say, trade shows and expos and whatnot. So maybe they're finally releasing one of them to the public. Maybe it's a separate, different one, showing off different modes, different showcases, whatever it is. We have to wait and see. All I can say is kind of fitting that I do believe that Square Enix possibly updated this today specifically because they knew there would be no news anywhere. So two potential outcomes here. One, they could have hoped it went under the radar because everyone was busy with family and whatnot. Or two, they could have done it because they know no one else was doing anything today. So all the news was on this. We'll have to wait and see anyway. Of course, there's only 4 months till the actual game releases, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. A Final Fantasy VII Remake is finally months away. Of course, I'm going to treat this like Duke Nukem Forever, when people were always telling me, oh yeah, it's out next week, it's out next week, it's out next week, it's out next year, it's out whenever it is. I will see it and believe it when I have the game in my own hands. But until then, hopefully they release a demo prior to launch and we can test it out. Hopefully it's representative of the final quality in both visuals and performance of the game, and let's hope there's a solid 60 frames per second mode in there if you own a PS4 Pro. But anyway, would you try out the Final Fantasy VII Remake demo? Do you think it will launch prior to release, or do you think it will launch after release? Of the full game, that is. Will you play the ever-loving shit out of it, or will you just hold off and wait for the main game? And of course, most importantly, do you think it's going to be any good? But forget the rest of the usual outro. Here we are. Merry Christmas, you filthy animals. Go enjoy yourselves.